Okay, talking about the wind sensor for the solar tracker today. This is the original one I purchased, and unfortunately, this one turned out to not be quite good enough to handle the job. So the UV kind of destroyed it from the intensity of the sun out here, and you can see this is kind of what happened. It started throwing its blades all over the yard, so it just got brittle and just started to disintegrate and couldn't hold up to the exposure. So originally what I did to solve that problem was to just 3D print a new top for it. And you can see that here. I just 3D printed that white part and used some 2-part epoxy to attach it to the original, what was left of the original top. And you can see that yellow that plastic there, the yellow plastic there is the remainder of what was left from the original top it had. And that lasted for a while, but being out in the sun still, that yellow part still deteriorated and it broke completely recently, so I had to replace it entirely with a new one. Okay, so I've got the new wind sensor here for the solar tracker. I bought this on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description. And it's plastic, but it seems to be better than the last sensor I had. You can see in the bottom there, that's just a DC motor. If you turn a DC motor, it will generate a voltage, and that's all this thing does. So it's just a plastic housing with the little DC motor in there wired up, and you can see I've got it on my meter, my bench meter. Now if I give it a little bit of a spin here, you can see it generates a positive voltage. It's kind of hitting the wire there, but so if I stop it, you can see we're at pretty much nothing. You can see that -3. That means that's pretty low. So if I hit a little bit higher RPM with it, you can see we actually get into the positive voltage there. All right, so 0.1, whatever. So that's enough voltage for me to use this as the wind sensor. So that's going to go out on that stand where the other one was, and I'll hook it up and test it, and hopefully everything works as it should. And I'll have wind protection on that solar tracker again. Okay, so you can see here, if you look in right there, it says wind sensor. And I think the white one is the negative and the blue one is the positive. And that's the original wire I had set up for the last sensor. I didn't change the wire. I just cut it, and I will attach the new wind sensor to the existing wire. Okay, so got it screwed in place here. You can see the wind is already spinning it, and I haven't finished up the wiring yet, but I'm going to do that in a second. I got it soldered down here and heat shrinked, so I'm going to tape that up and hide the wire a little bit. But you can see that if we look at the real-time wind reading here, I don't know how well that's going to be visible here, but let me see if I can get a better angle. So you can see 0.01 volt, and it's fluctuating a little bit there. There, it's going up a little bit, 0.03. So just a little bit of wind, just turning it a little bit so we can see that it is responding. Now right now the array is set flat because I tested it by giving it a little spin with my finger, and it did, let's see if I can, so you can see it did go a little higher there. So that should be a good replacement for that cheap wind sensor I had before that I can no longer recommend. And I will put a link up in the description for this one. If you're interested in getting a wind sensor for your tracker, this is the one I'm now going to recommend, because this one seems to be built quite a bit better. and hopefully it will last and the UV won't destroy it out here. All right, end of project.